In a world where survival is a game, and losing means death, every year, 24 children are forced to fight, until only one remains alive. But when one girl steps forward to save her little sister, the game changes forever. This is the story of Katniss Everdeen. This is the Hunger Games, and you're watching The Story Cafe. Get ready for a tale of courage, rebellion, and sacrifice, where survival is only the beginning. In the early morning, in a small house in District 12, Katniss Everdeen's sleep is broken. Today is Reaping Day, the day when 2 children from each district are chosen to participate in the Hunger Games. Katniss knows that today is her little sister Prim's first time in the reaping. She desperately hopes that Prim will not be selected. Giving Prim courage, Katniss heads into the woods to gather food, a familiar battle for survival. There, she meets her hunting partner Gale. Gale, too, is fearful. This game is not just about death. It is the Capitol's punishment. In the afternoon, the crowd gathers at the celebration stage. Effie Trinket announces the first name, Primrose Everdeen. Katniss can't think anymore. She runs forward and shouts, "I volunteer. I'm going in." The entire crowd falls silent. A sister's sacrifice shakes the very sky. From the boys, Peeta Mellark is selected, the same boy who once gave hungry Katniss bread. And so, the two begin their journey to the Capitol, one driven by love's debt, the other by a fierce fight to survive. Katniss knows this is not just a game, it is a battle for life. Katniss and Peeta arrive at the Capitol, a city of wealth and extravagance, yet shadowed by cruelty and fear. They are greeted by Haymitch, the only living Hunger Games victor from District 12. Though often drunk, Haymitch offers Katniss a faint sense of refuge. One day, they meet Cinna, a talented and thoughtful fashion designer who dresses Katniss in a special outfit. The dress sparkles like flames, captivating everyone in the Capitol. Now Katniss has become known as the Girl on Fire, a symbol of courage and strength that amazes all. During a live TV interview, Peeta openly declares his love for Katniss, winning the hearts of the Capitol's viewers. Yet in Katniss's mind, questions swirl. Is this true love or just a survival strategy? Amid the glitter and drama of the city, Katniss begins to understand that the games are not just about death. They are part of a larger political game. Days pass in the Capitol, surrounded by new surroundings and grand invitations. Katniss and Peeta learn the art of survival, how to stay alive, how to communicate carefully with other competitors. Deep inside, Katniss harbors a great fear. This is not a game. It is a fight for life and death. She knows that in the arena, no one is truly trustworthy. Everyone is a rival. Cinna teaches her how to present her best self in front of the cameras, so they can win the audience's favor and attract sponsors. Because sponsors can send money, food, and weapons. They meet other tributes from different districts. Some want friendship, others play tricks. Katniss remains cautious. One night, Katniss sits quietly, thinking about life beyond the games. She remembers Prim, her mother, and Gale. She realizes this fight is not just for herself, but for her family. Katniss and Peeta begin their training in the Capitol's vast training center, where they learn many techniques of combat and survival. Their mentor, Haymitch, regularly gives advice, but Katniss relies mostly on her own instincts and skills. One by one, the tributes show off their strengths and weaknesses. Some excel in archery, others in hand-to-hand combat or strategy. Katniss surprises everyone with her sharp skills and calm determination. Yet she knows the games are not just about physical strength. They are a mental battle too. Everyone tries to break each other's spirit. Katniss learns how to keep enemies at a distance and when to build cautious friendships. Live on television, the tribute's training scores are broadcast to the Capitol's eager audience. Katniss earns a score of 8.5 out of 12. Quite good, but she pushes herself to improve even more. One day, Katniss and Peeta retreat to the forest to discuss their strategies. Occasionally, her thoughts drift to Prim. She knows that if she survives, it will be for Prim's sake. Meanwhile, They also learn how to behave in front of the capital's people, how to appear strong, beautiful, and popular. Peeta tells Katniss, "We have to be more than strong. We have to be beautiful and well-liked." Katniss feels uneasy at this. For her, the greatest battle is simply to survive and return to those she loves. At night, sitting alone, Katniss wonders who will survive the games. Will the capital really keep them as prisoners forever, or will another rebellion spark? Inside her burns a strange fire, a fierce will to live and the seed of rebellion. In the grand studio of the capital, Katniss's live interview begins. Cinna, her fashion designer, has dressed her beautifully and prepared her for the cameras. Standing in front of the bright lights, Katniss realizes this is not just a game. It's a battle to present herself before the entire nation. A question comes. Do you know you are known as the Girl on Fire? How does it feel to carry that name? Katniss pauses for a moment, then smiles and replies, "I'm just trying to survive." Standing beside her, Peeta speaks clearly, "I love Katniss. She means everything to me." These words deeply move the audience watching in the Capitol. Inside Katniss, a storm of feelings stirs. Love, fear, and readiness for the fight ahead. When the interview ends, Katniss understands that the games are not only a physical battle, but also a struggle to win people's hearts. Today is the day. The terrifying Hunger Games begin. Katniss, Peeta, and the other tributes are brought to a grand arena, watched by millions of people across the nation. Standing in the center of the arena, Katniss's heartbeat races. Danger lurks everywhere, deadly weapons, fierce animals, and in the eyes of the other tributes, a fierce desire to survive. Each tribute is given 1 minute to showcase their skills. Katniss demonstrates her archery talents, astonishing everyone as she shoots arrow after arrow, hitting her target with perfect precision. But deep down, Katniss knows the real battle is just beginning. Her mind focuses on only one thing: how to survive and how to return to Prim. By the end of the first day, the tributes return to their hiding places, exhausted in body and mind, but alive and hopeful. Katniss realizes the games are not just a physical battle. They are a mental struggle. She begins preparing herself for the difficult tests that lie ahead. Right from the start of the games, Katniss realizes that surviving alone is nearly impossible. She needs to build alliances with some of the other tributes. Her eyes fall on Ruth, a girl from District 4. At first, Ruth appears polite and reserved, but gradually she becomes an important friend to Katniss. Together, they work to gather food and support each other in the dangerous arena. Katniss learns that sometimes trust and friendship can be the key to survival. Among the tributes, there is a rebellious youth named Clove from District 2 who constantly threatens her, but Katniss manages to overcome her fear of him. One stormy night, Katniss and Ruth take shelter in the woods. As thunder roars overhead, they talk about their families. Katniss thinks of Prim and her mother, while Ruth shares her own story. This friendship gives Katniss a little strength and sparks new hope within her to keep fighting. Still, she also learns the brutal tactics of the Capitol and the games. Every step must be taken with extreme caution to keep death at bay. The first major clash erupts in the arena. The tributes put their battle strategies into action. Some launch fierce attacks, while others hide in disguise. Katniss faces a daunting challenge. She notices a group of tributes planning a brutal assault. Among them is Clove, who has marked Katniss as her target. Using her archery skills, Katniss cleverly distracts them from a distance, saving her own life. She realizes that a direct fight with her enemies could mean certain death. In a risky moment, Katniss quickly throws a leaf at a poisonous snake, irritating it. The snake then attacks another tribute nearby instead. This incident teaches Katniss that the games are not just a fight of strength, but also a battle of wit. Yet her heart trembles. When will the next blow come? How long will her loved ones be able to bear witnessing this bloodshed? This violent encounter makes Katniss even more cautious, and she prepares herself with renewed confidence for the challenges ahead. Katniss steps into the second week of the games. Deep in the forest, loneliness begins to weigh heavily on her mind. One by one, tributes are falling, but she feels like she is locked in an even tougher battle within herself. Every moment of her life, she wonders, when will the next blow come? When will death finally touch her? Her body is tired, but her spirit still fights on. Katniss finds a safe refuge for herself, a deep cave where she can focus and rest. Here, she plans her strategies and prepares her weapons. But in the harsh reality of the games, loneliness means moving closer to death. The enemies are closing in one by one, and Katniss realizes that now survival is impossible without friendship. She drifts back to memories, Prim's gentle smile, Gale's stern voice, and Peeta's words of trust that give her strength to live. This solitude makes her stronger, yet sometimes she feels as if she is slowly fading away. As Katniss steps deeper into the second week of the games, her situation grows more complicated. One by one, the tributes fall, and the shadow of death looms over every step she takes. Katniss realizes that surviving isn't just about archery skills or physical strength. It requires strategy, patience, and sometimes the courage to take risks. One day, while searching for food, she suddenly falls into a dangerous trap. Though injured trying to escape, she doesn't give up. Using her wits, she quickly finds shelter to tend to her wounds. She understands now more than ever that the games are not only a physical battle, but also a mental war. The most cunning tribute will be the one to survive. Soon, Katniss finds another ally, a young man named Finnick, quite different from the others. A friendship blossoms between them as they help each other, share food, and devise strategies together. This friendship strengthens Katniss's spirit. Her loneliness fades, and hope for life rekindles. Yet a lingering fear remains in her heart. Does this friendship make her vulnerable to enemies? Is there truly a place for trust in the politics of the games? So she stays alert, constantly balancing her trust with caution. Meanwhile, the Capitol's audience grows more captivated by Katniss, drawn by her courage and humanity. This admiration attracts sponsors, whose gifts become a new beacon of hope for her survival. Midway through the second week of the games, the situation grows intense and terrifying. Tributes are steadily dwindling, and death looms over Katniss again and again. One day, Katniss suddenly falls into a large trap. Her foot is injured, and she is left alone, weak and vulnerable. But she does not give up. Her confidence and fierce will to survive drive her forward. She holds herself together, determined to fight on. Yet hunger, exhaustion, and her wounded body weaken her. She realizes how thin the line between life and death truly is. One night, she hears a distant sound, perhaps the planning or attack of other tributes. Instantly alert, Katniss prepares herself in every possible way to stay safe. At the same time, her thoughts wander. What is the true purpose of these games? Is it merely survival, or something more? Her mind drifts to her family, especially the responsibility she feels for Prim. She knows that surviving means fighting not just for herself, but for Prim as well. This chapter reveals Katniss's inner conflict, her physical and mental vulnerabilities. Walking that fine line between death and life, she moves forward like a brave warrior. Katniss steps into the final phase of the games. The number of competitors is steadily dwindling, and death looms ever closer from all sides. Yet, inside Katniss, a strange fire of rebellion begins to burn. She realizes that this fight is not just about surviving. It's a quiet, fierce protest against the Capitol's cruel rule. Her eyes fill with the suffering of the people in District 12, their harsh lives, and the oppression imposed by the Capitol. Katniss decides that winning the games alone is not enough. She must save others and stand strong against the Capitol's injustice. In this chapter, she faces the challenges of the games with both intelligence and courage. She understands that now is the time for a new kind of battle, one against oppression itself. Around her, a group forms, followers who will ignite the flames of rebellion under her leadership. This rebellion will not remain confined to the arena, but will spread throughout the entire nation. If you want to experience all the excitement and mystery this book has to offer, I've left a link for you in the description box below. Click it to read the complete story for yourself. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Story Cafe for more amazing book journeys.